Kempire is brought to you by
The Kempire After Dark live experience returns to New York City this Friday, February 21st for Black History Month. We're going to be talking about everything in Housewives, Hot Topics, Diddy, Jay-Z, Wendy Williams, and so much more. And don't feel like you're left out because for the very first time in a while, we will also be making this available via live stream. Get your tickets today. All ticket information will be available in the episode notes. I will see you soon, New York City.
You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video. Be sure to share this video. Be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. It is a subscribers only live chat. This is our weekly recap of Married to Medicine. Okay. How would you guys rate this week's episode of Married to Medicine? I just watched the last 2 minutes like 1,700 times.
Shut up! That is so stupid.
Just so I can unpack to see, okay, what happened here? How did this go left? Because so many things that we watch on reality television seem so performative. And I'm sort of thinking to myself, why exactly is King now all of a sudden trying to be the man? It makes me wonder what we haven't seen off camera between King and Quad. Because remember, I've been telling you, I feel like Quad is putting a little, like she's adding some gasoline to a lot of the stuff. So I'm sort of like, did they have a conversation off camera? Did you hear? He told me to shut the F up. Or I should shut my, effing mouth. So I'm wondering if it's some of that. But we'll unpack. So Married to Medicine's cast is in Key West. We're getting to know a little bit more about the newbies. We're getting to see some other things happening. This whole situation between Phaedra and Apollo is interesting. Apollo's soon-to-be ex-wife, because, we did a separate video letting you guys know that Apollo's going through a divorce now. Not surprised. I'm wondering why it took so long. Not sure. Because remember, we reported on a few, oh my gosh, it was last year, right? Him apparently getting caught on the ring cam cheating with some other woman. But fine. And then there were accusations of DV between Apollo and Shereen. So I don't know. But now she's filed for divorce. Looks like they will be getting a divorce, but still living under the same roof for some time. All right. We're going to unpack all of it. Okay, we're going to unpack all of it. First, today's live show is brought to you by our friends over at Factor Meals. Yes, on a busy day like our Mondays, Factor Meals makes it so easy to eat right and still feel good about what I'm eating. They have all kinds of meals from Calorie Smart to Keto to Protein Plus. I don't know if you're on a protein heavy diet. They have everything. I also love their little their add-ons and things like that, the little ginger shots and all kinds of things that they offer over at Factor Meals. But of course, we've got you a discount. But first, ready to optimize your nutrition this year, Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make it easy to eat well. Okay, they're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes. So you can feel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code factorpodcast at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. More information on Factor Meals will be available in the description, along with the Kempire After Dark live experience. Our show is coming up here in New York City. If you are in New York, go get your tickets today. Go also, if you are not in New York City or can't make it and you want the live stream option, head on over to the description for more details. This show exclusively will have a live stream option. But if you're in New York, come hang out with us. A lot of people make friends at this show, so don't be afraid to come on your own. Okay? All right. More information on the Kempire After Dark live experience coming to the Green Room 42 here in New York City will be available in the description along with the live stream option. This is our weekly recap of Married to Medicine. Guys, if you had to rate Married to Medicine's latest episode from 1 to 10. How would you rate it? I definitely would rate it in the 7 to 10 range for me this week. But I do feel like Married to Medicine is going in a direction that is going to ruin the show. But hopefully, because Phaedra is not going to be here next season, we can get the show back on track. But I definitely think some cast changes need to be made. I'm definitely done with this whole Quad versus Dr. G situation. But we're going to unpack it. We're going to unpack it because I see the Quad Squad has been out. But the Quad Squad ain't going to influence us over here. You might be able to influence the cast to shuck and jive to appease you. We ain't doing that over here. So when we think Quad is right or funny, we're going to say it. When we think Quad is wrong, we're going to say it. When we think Sweet Tea is right, we're going to say it. If we think she's wrong in an instant, we're going to say it. We don't know these people, and we don't care to know these people because they're strange.
What is this, honey?
Some of these people in reality, I know some of y'all, not y'all, but some people want to be friends with these people, I guess, for whatever reason. No, these people are strange. I don't want to be friends with them. It's funny because it's true. Anyways, Shake feeds Phaedra at the top of this episode some strawberries. I don't believe this relationship, and I don't care what people might think about Shake. They said Shake knows everybody in Atlanta. I bet. Sorry. So he's feeding Phaedra the strawberries. Look, Phaedra only brought this man on here so that she did not feel left out on a couple's trip like she did last year. Okay? She also brought this man because she knew her ex was going to be there. Okay? She also brought this man because she needed to bring a man on the show because everyone said that she was going to bring a doctor and we only got a cartoon doctor. Just saying. Okay? So we know that this is not a real relationship. Only for us to find out later that apparently Phaedra wants to play innocent, like as if she didn't know Apollo was coming. I know she didn't know that Shereen was coming, but she wanted to play it like she didn't know Apollo was coming. Anyways, let me just stick to my notes because we'll get there. So Quad and King are in their room. Greg and Dr. Gregory and Sweet Tea are in their room. And we're seeing these separate scenes. They're going back and forth. So Quad and King are talking about what happened the night before. King thinks that Greg didn't like hearing them talk about their sex life. I mean, look, I didn't like hearing any of these people talk about their sex life. So I can't imagine if you used to sleep with someone and you're no longer married to them, would you want to hear about their sex life? Just like I personally don't care or want to hear about their sex life, but fine. So he thinks that was the problem with Dr. Gregory. Quad, though, she says a few interesting things in this scene. She says that it might be a lot for Greg to see her happy with someone young and strong. He looks real strong. Dr. Gregory looked real strong doing his little push-ups. Letitia. He is such a weirdo. Dr. Gregory, don't turn me off yet. I got your back at some point. Letitia. He didn't even do a full push-up. Come on. And Steven's like, oh, yeah, you did. I was impressed. Yeah. You were not impressed, Steve. You know that wasn't a full push-up. He cheated. That wasn't a full push-up. Come on. Letitia. Look, this is the only way I'm going to get a workout today. It's I'm so busy doing these lives. So this is the only way I'm going to get a workout. Letitia. Really? Cheating on those. Anyways, let me focus. So Quad says that she thinks that it's hard for Dr. Gregory to see her with this young, vibrant. Who called in last week and talked about King's teeth? You know I couldn't help but look at his mouth the entire episode. I was like this. Just spinning my head around like as if moving my head would change the movement of my television. I'm just like, let me see those teeth. He don't really show his teeth, but then I was like, they look a little jagger. Anyone else? Weren't you looking? If you listened to our recap last week, someone mentioned his teeth, and I said, what? His teeth? What's wrong with his teeth? So I was looking. I did see a couple of nubs. He's still good looking. Teeth can be fixed. Teeth can be fixed. Okay? Weirdness can't. Mama Allie says, I want to see Kempire do a full push-up. I could. I can't do 25 in a row probably because I haven't really done it. I hurt my wrist. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I hurt my wrist, so I can't really do push-ups. But look, if you see me in Pilates, some of you big weightlifters can't do Pilates. I've been doing Pilates for over a year. I can do some Pilates. Anyways, leave King alone. That's my cousin. I don't know. Jamaican from New York. I don't know. He could be. Anyways, so Quad and King are talking about this. So they're talking about Greg's reaction. So Quad says that they didn't have any grace for her when they're parading sweet tea around. Look, okay. We have to remember that Dr. Gregory has relationships with this cast. He got married to this girl, or was getting married to this woman. And obviously, they were interested in bringing him back on the show. Okay? So Quad saying that they were parading sweet tea around. Girl, you wanted to keep your job on this show because every season it feels, except this season, the last couple of seasons, it feels as if, oh, is Quad coming back? Is Quad not coming back? Okay? So to say that they were parading his wife around, it feels like a stretch to me, okay? Feels like a stretch. But I get it. You were in your feelings because you've been on the show as well, and they brought her on the show. But your friends, Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly, were the ones to encourage her to come on the show. Okay? So Quad says that Greg's behavior came across like he wasn't over her, and that sweet tea is a seat filler. Y'all didn't notice that? I was like, oh. I was like, that's shade. So, and look, Toya was the one who started all of that. She kind of put that out there. And some of you believe that as well. But Quad says it feels as if, and she's saying this to her new man, it feels like he's not over me. Does Quad Quad must have a Leo in her chart. Can we get Quad's chart done, please? Because she just doesn't give Taurus. There's more going on there. The narcissism of it all. And she says that sweet tea is just a seat filler. Okay? She also says, I didn't like the way that he was screaming at sweet tea. Neither did I. And we talked about that. I didn't like how Dr. Gregory was talking to sweet tea. And I don't understand why he took it out on her when the frustration really should be on Quad. So King says that he had to make sure that Greg didn't tell Quad to shut the F up. Pay attention to that. So he mentions that in this scene. So it says to me, Quad probably clocked it and told him later. Maybe he didn't clock it. And again, some people are like, how did he not hear that? He was sitting right there. In the heat of the moment, I don't know. I have to say, though, King really was playing a little too comfortable for me. Because even I probably would have been like, sir, please calm down with the way that you're talking about my woman. So I kind of found it interesting that he didn't say anything. But I will remind you, I feel like Quad has been putting gasoline on the situation. She's been putting gasoline on the situation for the last few episodes. Just saying. Okay? So I'm imagining the things that we're not seeing that she's saying to King. Okay? So King says that he had to make sure that Greg didn't say, shut the F up. Quad. He did. Maybe not in that way, but he basically said that. And I was sort of like, I'm surprised King didn't say something. So in Sweet Tea and Greg's conversation, he says that, Quad likes to act superior. But he does apologize to Sweet Tea for losing his cool. But he's not apologizing for speaking his mind. I do think that Dr. Gregory could have handled the conversation better. I'm not making excuses for Quad, but I do feel like it didn't need to be escalated the way that it was. You knew clearly the next day, like, she was definitely drunk. You know, this is a drunk person speaking. Why engage with that? You're not drunk. Why even engage with that? I'm like, okay, she's drunk. And that's what I would have said to Sweetie. Ignore her. She's drunk. That's what I would have said. And I get it. Some people took what Quad was saying as insensitive when it comes to Sweet Tea and her fertility journey. Fine. But at the same time, you're trying to rationalize with someone that's drunk. You're never going to get rational. So it led to this whole big thing. But I'm more concerned with Dr. Gregory and the way that he spoke to Sweet Tea and then made it seem like there was something going on. So Sweet Tea's conversation with him the next day, she's just like, what happened? What was that about? Because she wants to make sure that what Toya said wasn't 100% correct, that he's still not over Quad. Right? Now, I don't know. You think that Dr. Gregory still has a thing for Quad? I've never been in their situation where you've been with someone, you married someone, it was toxic, but you get a divorce. You didn't really want the divorce. You were fighting for your marriage. And now you're back around them. And is that old feeling coming back? Can anyone relate? I can't relate. I'm trying to understand. But Dr. Gregory does apologize to Sweet Tea for losing his cool, but he's not apologizing for speaking his mind on Quad. Okay. He also says that he's expecting Sweet Tea to be. He says this is where the age gap stuff comes into the way. He's like, I'm expecting you to be, an elder person, an elder wise person. And Sweet Tea's, I am not that. They are perfect for each other. Okay. I just want to say that. I say that every week. They are perfect for each other. And I love that for them. Everybody needs somebody. I hope you find somebody. I hope you find your weird. I hope you find your weird. And I mean that genuinely. I want you to be exactly who you are with the person that can be exactly who they are with you. And if that means you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. Kidding. Okay. Okay. Let's move on. Come on. Y'all are ridiculous today. Love how I turn it back on you. Okay. Guys, we have over 1,500 of you watching on YouTube, but we only have 336 likes. How's that work? The math ain't math in there, right, Mia? Did you guys miss our Real Housewives of... Our Real Housewives... I can't look at the comments. Our Real Housewives of Potomac reunion recap. We had a really good conversation there and some great callers. I will be dropping the call link for our members first and the live chat. But live chat, we got to get those likes up. Mods, let me know how many likes we should get with 1,500 people in the building. Just saying. I have to say, if we have 1,500 people watching... More than 1,500 if I count Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, TikTok. So 1,000 of you don't want to like the video? I just don't understand. But anyways, I'll move on. Let me focus. Back to Married to Medicine. All right. So Dr. Mimi and her husband, Steve, go out for lunch with Toya and Eugene. Very cute scene. We get to know a little bit more about Steve and Dr. Mimi. I like them, but I feel like we're not getting a lot. And this is not their fault. I have to emphasize, this is what production has decided to show us of them. But we do get to know them a little bit in this scene because we find out a little bit more about Steve's background, where he came from. He talks about how, he came from the hood and that he's like a hometown hero. We got to know a little bit about me. I feel like we got to know more about Mimi from Miss Esquire when she called in last week. Just saying. I was like, oh, you know her, Miss Esquire. I just feel like they're not sharing a lot. Not them personally, the production. But maybe because there's just so much going on with the other people. but I like them. I think they need another shot next season. I know we only have probably a few more episodes. I just want to get to know a little bit more about them. Maybe. Especially, we're going to need some replacements for next season. At least they're married. At least I believe that they're a real relationship, unlike Phaedra and Shake. Anyways, moving along. Okay, so Mimi says that we got something that we can relate to. When Mimi says that she doesn't roller skate or ride a bike, and everyone was judging her, I was like, same, Mimi. We were book smart. That's all that matters. We weren't out gallivanting about we're roller skating and biking. No, okay? We were in the books, all right? Kempire, you can do both. Shut up. No, you can't. Debbie on my TikTok says that they're too normal for reality TV. No, let's not say that. I don't want that to be the norm now where people are too normal for reality television. We do need a little balance of that, but I don't feel like we're getting a lot from them just yet. Okay? So Toya orders her drink and she gets some Patron. All right? She's like, I don't like the additives and preservatives. They make me angry. Don't talk enough about how Toya is funny as hell. She said the additives and preservatives make her angry. Okay. Exactly. Nishi's Fly says, it's a shame you have to be messy on these shows or I won't be asked back. Yeah, like I don't want to normalize that. Oh, Reese says, I can roller skate, but I can't ride a bike. I never really tried to roller skate, so I'm assuming I can. I never tried, though. But yeah. Stephanie says, Toya had me cracking up. She said the preservatives and the additives make her angry. And Steve was like, so yesterday, Dr. Eugene said yesterday was a chill Toya. Okay. So Stephen Mimi said that Toya was the one behind lighting up the situation between Quad and Dr. Gregory. We have to remember we're watching an edited show, so there's a lot that we don't end up seeing. Based on what we watch, I can't say that it was really Toya's fault that whatever happened between the two couples. I would blame more so Quad because Quad was the one involving them and just getting too much in there. But Toya's like, look, I'm going to admit, I felt uncomfortable. Everyone felt uncomfortable. I'm the only one that's going to say it. I don't know. Would you feel uncomfortable? I don't know if I would. I mean, I would feel uncomfortable if I was in the situation. But if I was one of the couples that were just watching the situation, no, I think I'd be uncomfortable. See, I had to walk through it with you guys. I probably would be uncomfortable watching this play out. Like, what is going on right now? Anyways, now everybody in the chat, okay, replay crew, you weigh in. Can you ride a bike? Can you roller skate? Who can ride a bike and who can roller skate? Who can do both? Or which one can you do? Tyrese says, I can roller skate, but not ice skate. Huh. Look. That's interesting. Gabrielle says, Toya's funny. She's just smart enough to be adorable, but doesn't belong to a high profession, so she's uninhibited. Oh. I think even if she was. Look, Aries women are smart. She's an Aries woman. I know they like to make it seem as if Toya's dumb because maybe she's not a doctor. Toya's not a dummy. She's far from a dummy. And Aries women are fun. In my youth, I know a lot of Aries women. Aries men, not so smart. Oh! Let me move on. Let me not dwell too long because then the Aries men are going to come in the chat. Anyways, sorry, Aries men. I'm joking. I'm playing. Okay. So we had that scene with those couples. Then we have the scene with Dr. Jackie, Dr. Heavenly, and Dr. Simone. And Heavenly says that saw what happened between Quad and Gregory, she didn't see anything wrong with it. She thought it was funny. Of course, Dr. Heavenly is messy. She likes watching a plane, not a plane. Oh God, I just saw something with Delta right during our break. That's what I'm gonna call it, our break. But like, she likes seeing a train crash. Okay. But then Heavenly says that she tells them, like, I want to tell you guys that I invited Apollo on the couples trip. So of course, Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone are like, you invited Apollo? She's like, Phaedra knows. All right. So Jackie says that maybe Apollo might get jealous seeing Phaedra with Shake because no one knew that Shake was going to be joining them on the trip. Here's the thing. We knew exactly why Phaedra decided to invite Shake on this trip because she knew her ex-husband, Apollo, was going to be on the trip. I mean, can I blame her? No, but trying to pretend like you and Shake are more than just people who just met feels a little forced. Do you think that Phaedra actually has a man that she's serious about and she's just never sharing him? I think the doctor that she was supposed to have on the show, I think that might have been a real relationship because word on the street that he was supposed to film but didn't sign the paperwork, so he ended up not filming. So I don't know. Like, I want Phaedra to settle down because I hate the fact that the whole narrative that Phaedra is just, out here hiring men to be on the show and going to Africa to find her. Like, you're too educated and accomplished to be doing all this. But then, look, she also married Apollo. Look, and quiet as is kept, Apollo still looks good. Come on, can we talk? Apollo still looks good. We got to see Apollo this episode without his shirt on. I said, damn. Look, why does Jailbird still look so damn good? Come on. This is why you can't just go by looks, people. This is why you need to know people's full story and a background check. Okay? This is why. Okay? This is why you need to make sure you're not letting infatuation conduct your choices. Okay? I'm looking at I was like, he got a full head of hair on his head and his beard. Okay? A full chest, flat stomach.
What is this, honey?
Look, I need a moment. Can I have a moment? Okay. Come on. Can we have I'm hot. Take a sip of water. What were we talking about? T says, until he starts talking, well, that part. This is what I'm talking about. There are a combination of things. Don't let lust guide you, okay? You need to speak to them. Do they like to read? What's their credit score? Do they have anyways. So what were we talking about? Okay, Married to Medicine. Damn, almost forgot. All right. Back to this. So Heavenly reveals that she invited Apollo, but Phaedra knows. And Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, they're sort of like, they imagine that this is not going to work out the way that Dr. Heavenly thinks that it's going to work out. Can we be real? Dr. Heavenly only invited Apollo because she's messy. Okay? She only invited Apollo because she wanted to come at Phaedra. Can we just call it a thing? We've been saying this week after week. Her narrative of I'm inviting Apollo to show Quad and Sweet Tea how to navigate, divorce. Really? Really? Come on. She invited Apollo to be messy. So Phaedra was getting ahead of the mess and invited, Shake. All right. Moving on, the couples get ready and they go on a boat. Apollo arrives, and Apollo originally, I don't know if I believe Dr. Heavenly that she didn't know that Apollo wasn't bringing Shereen. I know we saw the FaceTime, but I don't know if I believe that. Why would Apollo go on a couples trip by himself? Oh, because Phaedra was going to be by herself. Why would Apollo go on a couples trip by himself? And he's a married man. Okay? So Apollo arrives with Shereen. Shereen does not look like she used to because they flash back. And I know all of you remind me that Shereen was the side chick. So Phaedra wanted to remind us as well in her confessional. Apparently, this was his girlfriend while Phaedra was still pregnant with the vice president. Okay? Phaedra says, I've never had a conversation with the big back linebacker. Damn. I'm just quoting what she said, okay? So the group says that Shake knows Apollo. They're starting to realize that Shake knows Apollo and Shereen, and they're like, wait a minute, what's happening here? We knew it as the audience, but apparently the rest of the group didn't know. Apollo says that Phaedra told him that Shake doesn't know him. So Phaedra was lying to Apollo. But we find out later, Shake says, I told you that I was going to a speed dating event, and I told you that I ended up matching with Phaedra. Apollo's just like, well, you didn't continue to tell us anything else about this relationship. He's like, do I have to tell you everything? Of course. And do I have to tell you everything about my business arrangements? So I thought that was interesting when Apollo says that he hangs out with Shake every day. Really? Wait, Apollo. Wait, you hang out with Shake every day? Okay, fine. But apparently Shake is very friendly with them, is spending Thanksgivings with them. So he must be so heartbroken about this divorce that's coming. Okay. Anyways, so he says that he hangs out with Shake all the time. Phaedra says that she isn't going to, in the confessional, when asked by production if she thought it was a good idea to bring Shake on this trip. Didn't y'all find it funny that she says, I'm not going to answer those questions? Ooh, yes. I thought that was weird. Why wouldn't you answer that? Phaedra's such a weirdo. She's a weirdo too. Because you could easily be like, yeah, I thought it was fine. And then move on. But her saying that, I'm not going to answer that question. I'm like, okay. All right. So the couples end up getting to their sand beach, okay, for the Sandbar. They get off the boat. Toya falls off the boat. She's always falling. You know, that damn Patron. Okay. So Steve asks Apollo, I thought this was strange too, asks Apollo how he knows the group. And Apollo wants to say everything but the fact that he was married to Phaedra. Why? This incarcerated, former inmate, Apollo. Why wouldn't you just say, well, Phaedra's my ex-wife. That's how I know the group, but I do know other people in the group. I don't really think he knows other people in the group besides from doing the show last year. But I thought that was interesting. So, Steve is like, we should do a push-up competition. Mind you, these doctors, they're like, I'm not doing no damn push-up competition. So Dr. Gregory's like, I'll do it. So he goes down on his hind legs, and he starts doing a push-up, a half a push-up, not even half a push-up. And he's like, Letitia. Steve was like, good job. And his confession is like, well, the next time we do that, I need him not to make it so weird. Steve doesn't know that this is who Dr. Gregory is. Okay? You know what I mean? So he does his Letitia push-ups, and I'm just like, oh, God, this is so weird. And of course, everyone is just like, and I think they're just used to his weird. He's also a Taurus, too, right? Oh, Lord.
Shut up. That is so stupid.
He's an April Taurus, though, so it's different. But I understood why it didn't work between. I dated a Taurus before. Two Tauruses, it can work. People have done it. But that generally doesn't work. Two stubborn people, even though I don't think I'm that stubborn. Sabrina says his voice surprises me every time. He's like, Letitia. Oh my God, it's so weird. But it's okay. It's all right. Everybody needs love. Anyways, so King and Greg end up having a conversation about the night before. Greg reveals that he told Quad, and everyone is like, why is he telling him this? He's like, I told her she talks too effing much. And King is like, you said that? I didn't hear that the night before. But wait a minute. Look. King, didn't he mention it in his conversation with Quad earlier in the episode? That it was said? Right? Didn't I mention that in my notes here? So something's a little off in regards to did you or did you not hear it? Or did Quad tell you about it? But everyone is like, why is Dr. Gregory... Oh, okay. Niche says he said that King said he didn't know that he was talking to Quad. Okay, so maybe he thought that Dr. Gregory was talking to Letitia, Sweet Tea. Okay. Anyways, so everyone is cringing like, why is Dr. Gregory, why is he even admitting this? Because this is Dr. Gregory. He's weird. He's like, yeah, I told Quad she talks too much. And King's like, oh, I didn't hear that the night before. King thinks that Dr. Gregory now, he didn't say this in the moment. He thinks that Dr. Gregory needs to apologize to Quad for saying that. We're going to revisit this conversation at the end of the episode. Okay? Sherrein. So Sherrein says that Shake, in a separate conversation, says that Shake is everyone's man in Atlanta. She had a lot to say, Sherrein. She was not shy. She never has been. You remember when they flashed back to when she was on RHOA. She said that Shake is everyone's man in Atlanta. I bet. Ooh! Shake comes over to their house, apparently, for every Thanksgiving. And she says, that's our family. Okay. Toya asked her how he asked Shake how he knows Sherrein. And he's like, why you want to know? Ooh. Like he was being weird about it. Like they're there, you clearly know them. But he seemed like he didn't want to answer the question. Because he's the hired help? Probably. Okay. So she asked him about that. He seems like he doesn't want to answer it. Phaedra says that she in her confessional, she's like, they should be welcoming, people that she's interested in with open arms, okay, and or who she's chosen to be with. Phaedra, why are we trying to? You expect this group to automatically just to embrace Shake as if you've been dating him for how many months? You just got matched with this man and you randomly brought him on a couples trip. I get why you brought him on a couples trip because your ex and his wife are there. But you want the group to embrace some man that might not be there next week? Make that make sense. So she's hurt by that. And she says that this group should not be antagonizing her by inviting Apollo. She says that's why she called them these type of B words. I have to say, though, when she said that, I was like, she's got a point. I said, she got a point. And I was like, oh, so that's why you call them these type of B words? Okay, maybe. So Apollo comes over and he's having a conversation with Shake and he says, you told me about the speed dating stuff, but you didn't tell me, he didn't get into the particulars. Apollo says that he did know that Shake ended up matching with Phaedra. So I get it. But I also don't get why Apollo would care. I don't know the depth of Apollo's friendship with Shake. And maybe Apollo's one of those type of people, like, that's my ex-wife. I don't need one of my friends dating my ex-wife. So like, part of me is trying to understand where they might be coming from. Because, again, we don't know the depth of Apollo's friendship with Shake. I was under the impression that he knew Shake casually and that he was aware that Shake and Phaedra, I don't know what they're doing. Whatever they're doing, okay? But Apollo seems like he's bothered, at least in the scene. He feels like, it looks like he's bothered. And Phaedra's just like, why do you care who I date? Why do you care who I date? So Shereen jumps in and she's like, he doesn't give an F about Phaedra. And then she's just like, you know, Faye. And she's like, my name ain't Faye. you bad built B word. What? Okay. She said, my name is not Faye. You bad built B word. I was like, damn. Shereen was doing too much. Black Rose says Shereen was doing too much. Because she had a lot to say. I was surprised that she had so much to say. But I guess when you, the side chick that became the wife. So Shereen's just like, you know, he doesn't care what Phaedra does. Why is he acting like he does, though, Shereen? Why is he acting like he does care? I was confused as much as you're probably confused. But you probably are not that confused because you accused him of cheating in your divorce documents. So maybe he still feels something? Again, we don't know the depth of the friendship between Shake and Shereen and Apollo. Maybe if we did, we could probably understand. But based on what I'm watching, I'm like, why do you care? You guys haven't been together in years. Your side chick turned housewife is here with you. Mind you, Phaedra doesn't have a relationship with Shereen at all. Understandably. Oh, Alex, yeah, it's Shereen. I don't know why I keep Shereen. Can I just call her Shereen, though? I was saying it correctly before. Can I just call her Shereen, please? I just want to call her Shereen. Because we're not going to see her. We're not going to see her anymore after this, right? So do we really care? Just asking. Anyways, KG says you lose them how you got them. Deborah says that he still cares. Doreen says you lose them how you get them. Just saying. Anyways, okay. Lucky Pie says it's fine with me. Damn, Foxy says call her side chick. Wait, Virgilia says, well, you've been calling her Shereen this entire time. Well, no, remember when we reported on their divorce, I called her Shereen. I don't know, for someone said call her Shar. It doesn't matter. Again. Teresa says, call it, we don't care. Call her what you want. Marigold says, Shereen around town. You know what? Dina says she was sharing Apollo. Is that why I'm calling her Shereen? Shereen. Fine. You don't see all the different names I have to remember on a Monday from Real House from yesterday alone, with all the M's on Love and Marriage Huntsville to all the names on Potomac, and now all the names on here. Shereen, whatever. The side chick. Okay, fine. Anyways, so they have all this back and forth. Again, I don't even understand why Apollo cares or why it's any sort of... Someone said call her BBB. Bad built B word? No, we won't do that. That's what Phaedra called her when she said call her Coleslaw 2.0. Leon says. Anyways, so they have that little bit of an argument, but then it turns into an argument between Sweet Tea and Dr. Heavenly, because Sweet Tea comes over like, who invited her? And then and Heavenly's like, I did. And then she was just like, why would you invite her? And she's like, I ain't gonna explain nothing to you. Because Dr. Heavenly gets really perturbed when it comes with Sweet Tea. You don't really see her get that way with anyone else. But Sweet Tea brought up a very valid point. She says if the tables were reversed and we were talking about Dr. Jackie, remember Hilton Head, where Curtis got some head, and how Dr. Heavenly felt like she had to fight for Dr. Jackie. I was like, you know what? You brought up a very valid point, Sweet Tea. Very valid point. She looks gorgeous on Watch What Happens Live. Did you guys see her on Watch What Happens Live? She looked gorgeous. I loved the hair. I loved her outfit. Dr. Contessa was there with her as well. Dr. Contessa was just happy not to be involved in the mess. She said, I'm holding a $3,000 camera. I do not need to drop this camera. Okay. You also saw a couple of moments between Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott. I'm like, y'all are laying it on thick. Probably to make us stop thinking about what we saw ourselves. Just saying. I noticed. I look. Because I know Dr. Contessa watches. Hey, Dr. Contessa. Anyways. But I will say this about Dr. Contessa. If Dr. Contessa is willing to open up about the real stuff within her marriage, and again, if you've chosen to stay with the man, stay with the man. But at least be honest. Don't gaslight the audience as if we were crazy. Because I like you with the group. I think it's natural. You guys are really friends. And I like the fact that you guys are doctors. Both of you, this is a husband and wife doctor team situation. But trying to fake the funk, it's not going to land well. It's not. But anyways, I digress. Let me take a sip. Okay. So Sweet Tea is like, who invited her? Okay. Who invited her? And Dr. Heaven is like, I did. And like, why would you invite her? And she's like, I ain't got an answer to you. And then Sweet Tea, and so they start getting crunk. You know, Sweet Tea's about that life. So Sweet Tea starts charging forward. And Dr. Heavenly look, Dr. Heavenly, this is why I need my daytime talk show, so I can show this to you in person on stage. So Dr. Heavenly is trying to get up. Dr. Heavenly goes tumbling back. Dr. Heavenly tries to, you know how many times I rewound that? Dr. Heavenly tries to get up. Dr. Heavenly goes, whoo! How many times in the confessionals did we see Dr. Simone just laughing at all of the tomfoolery happening on this cast? This entire episode, Dr. Simone was getting her life, providing commentary, and laughing at all of it. And making all kinds of jokes. This is why I kind of believe that these reality TV stars are pre-producing. They want to see the quad and the Sweet Tea and all the other stuff because they don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want to be the focal point. I'm just saying. But I have to say, I did appreciate Dr. Simone and all the hilarity. Okay? Bring back Audra. Oh, you're probably thinking, why? Because I just, every week, bring back Audra. Okay? Dr. Heavenly went flying back. She went flying back. So they're yelling at each other. So they're trying to pull Sweet Tea back because Sweet Tea's about that life. Sweet Tea would fight. We know that Dr. Heavenly is not going to fight. Okay? So I don't know why. But I think she knows security is going to pull them apart and they're never going to allow them to actually touch. Y'all didn't stop playing with that. Y'all saw what happened on RHOP. Okay? Stop playing those games. So you see Dr. Heavenly once she's got her footing back. And she's like just trying to storm towards Sweet Tea. And Sweet Tea's about that life. Sweet Tea's like, come on. She's like, I will fight. So they're pulling Sweet Tea back. Sweet Tea is losing it. Okay. And so they're pulling. So Dr. Gregory, he pulls Sweet Tea over. Shout out to Steve. Steve was like, what's going on? Remember, Steve's from the hood. We learned that. Steve's like, what's going on? Steve runs over to make sure that his wife is good. I said, go ahead, Steve. He's like, you okay? Like, what's going on? He went to go make sure his wife was not caught up in no mess and that she wasn't harmed. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Where was Dr. Damon? Okay. First of all, sidebar. Dr. Jackie, first of all, Dr. Jackie's body is banging. Dr. Jackie in her thong on the beach, blah, blah. And all the husbands are with their wives. I'm like, where's Curtis? Curtis is probably all the way up on the beach. He's like, seen one beach, seen them all in DR with my other family. What? Okay. Anyways. So it gets all heated between Heavenly screaming, Sweet Tea screaming. But I have to say, Sweet Tea's right. If the tables were reversed, Heavenly, because I know you watch. If the tables were reversed, we saw how you behaved in defense of your friend. And Sweet Tea says that Phaedra's her friend. Okay? If the tables were reversed, this is how you acted when they were trying to go to Hilton Head. This is why I don't understand Dr. Simone not having empathy or sympathy for Sweet Tea. Like, you literally just you go through this all the time with Heavenly. You're just not going through it with Heavenly this season. So I feel like you trying to gaslight Sweet Tea when you have been a part of at the other end of a Heavenly situation. I don't understand it. Anyways, what was I saying? They move it. So Heavenly and Sweet Tea, they screaming. Now we get to see production. We see everything that's happening with production because this fight is blowing up. All right. So Dr. Gregory pulls Sweet Tea to the side. It's like, what's going on? La, la, la. Okay. What was Dr. Damon doing? I don't remember. I don't remember. Bab says, when has Dr. Simone shown empathy? I thought she would, at least in this particular situation, because she's been in that position. But these women are they're like in college, or not even college, like grammar school. And Felicia says Dr. Damon wasn't looking. He's used to this mess. Amber says that Dr. Heavenly is messy, but she talked to Phaedra prior to, and Apollo said his wife wasn't coming. I know, Amber, and I said that, but it feels as if I don't believe Heavenly didn't know that his wife wasn't coming. I don't know if I believe that. Why would he come on a couple's trip by himself? You know what I mean? Anyways. Lexi says, bring back Audra. All I know, but I think Heavenly and Audra actually are friends. Please understand, Audra's about that life. Y'all saw what happened between Audra and Toya. When Toya smushed her head, she was going to knock Toya out. I don't know if they're in a better place now, but bring back Audra. I like Audra, and I liked her husband. She's married to medicine, and she's an attorney. She's had a couple kids since being on this show. Anyways, so that fight is happening. Dr. Gregory's pulling her away. King thinks that this is the best time to pull Dr. Gregory away to talk about what they talked about earlier. What? Okay, before we get to that, let me drop the call link for our members first. So if you're a member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call-in link on the post tab here on YouTube. Live chat. Mods, let me know how many likes we should get to. I mean, we have, we got almost 2,500 people on YouTube watching. How many likes, mods? Let me know. All right, so if you're a member of the channel, we're going to drop the call-in link for you guys on the community tab or the post tab now. All right, live chat. Once the mods decide how many likes we should get, I will drop the call-in link for you guys as well. All right. All right. Again, guys, liking the video, it's easy, it's free, and it also not just supports my channel, but it opens you up to new channels, up-and-coming channels that are talking about similar topics. As you know, here on the channel, we don't just talk about hot topics. We don't just talk about Real Housewives or Married to Medicine. We talk about everything in pop culture. And yesterday, you may have missed it, we dropped a new video update in regards to Jay-Z's lawsuit against Tony Busby. So be sure to check that out if you may have missed it. Double T says, not sure why King thought that was the appropriate time. It felt so out of place. Beautiful Jeff says, King is definitely special. Oh, look, what are you saying, Beautiful Gem? I think I get what you're saying. So he decides that this is the perfect opportunity to talk to Gregory. He says, because he can pull him away from the rest of the guys and they can have a moment. Okay. So he brings up what was said, and he says that he wants Greg to apologize to Quad. He says that he's going to let what happened last night slide. Even his body language and the word choices that he's using is giving aggressive. Okay, but what I will give Dr. Gregory, because a lot of times we say that Dr. Gregory is a punk, but Dr. Gregory, I have to say, was standing 10 toes down, okay? And was not moving. And I was just like, oh, okay, Dr. Gregory, you're not a punk. Okay? So King says he's going to let what happened the night before slide. He says that Quad can say whatever she wants to say. And he was like, how does that make any sense if you're telling me you don't want me to talk to her? He's like, no, you should be talking to me. And I know the Quad Squad has been in these not YouTube streets, probably there too, but on social media streets, defending Quads, calling Dr. Gregory a punk because word on the street, according to Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Gregory filed charges. Some people have said, good. Look, we still haven't seen the physical fight. All we've seen is King chasing after Dr. Gregory. We haven't seen contact. I don't know if contact is made. I'm assuming that contact was made. But I still don't understand why King felt that it needed to get physical. But Dr. Gregory's like, I'm not fighting with you. I'm a doctor. I got too much to lose. So King is talking. Dr. Gregory's talking. I forgot exactly what Dr. Gregory says, but it sets King off. He takes off his shirt and he runs toward Dr. Gregory. Shake is there because Shake is in the middle of everything. Ooh! He's in the middle of everything. And he's just like, oh, wait, what's happening right now? I want to know what's happening right now because, first of all, do you think that Dr. Gregory needs to apologize to Quad? I think you could have asked for an apology without it getting to this level. Amy says, file charges for what? I thought they didn't fight. Based on what we've seen so far, I don't see why you would file charges, but you could file charges for anything. You could be like, I was being harassed. So who knows? Okay. Oh, wait a second. Mikkel says, Dr. Gregory reminds me of Martell. All that heat for women and nothing for men. I didn't think about it that way. Exactly. Kay says, oh, damn, Kay, I lost your comment. Where does it go? Damn it. It was a reference to Will Smith. Chrissy says that Dr. G needs to apologize. Creole says, Dr. Elmo voice, Gregory, raising his arms. You want the smoke. He was definitely giving aggression as well, but we have to remember, someone's giving you aggression. So he wasn't trying to, he was already telling, I'm not fighting you. I'm a doctor. I'm not fighting you. But he also wasn't making it seem as if he is going to be lame, like people have called him. LAM says that Dr. G was the aggressor. What do you guys think? I wouldn't say that Dr. Gregory was the aggressor. Dr. Gregory didn't hit him. Dr. Gregory didn't, put his hand in his face. He definitely was standing his ground. He wasn't moving back. But I think it's interesting. I do feel like King was doing a lot, and he had been doing a lot from before. And then he decided to bring you up at a weird time when there's a lot of drama happening already. You decide this is the perfect opportunity to have a conversation? I think that's weird. Anyways, Althea says that he didn't press charges. He has a restraining order. Well, okay. Okay. Miss B says that Dr. G was definitely the aggressive one. Can you really say that if we see video footage of them arguing and then Dr. Gregory moves away and then all of a sudden we see King running towards him? Can we really say that? I don't know if in the court of law. I don't know. SL says that King was the aggressive one. Based off what we've seen, again, we're watching an edited show. There could be stuff that was left out to make Dr. Gregory look good. But based on what we saw on television, it looked as if King was the aggressor. Okay? Okay. All right. Oh, Queen Black says, I heard King went to jail. For this? Oh. Give Me Shelter says that King and Quad were playing games, and that's why I just turned off the episode and took it off my DVR. I'm too old for these antics, even if they aren't. That's the thing. I told you, I feel like week after week, it feels as if we're seeing Quad lay the groundwork. I'm not surprised that we're in this place where it ends up getting physical between these two men. So I do feel as if Quad has been in King's ear about this whole situation because we've seen it. So can you imagine stuff we didn't see off camera? So we see in the scene King take his shirt off and then run towards Dr. Gregory. And then we see Dr. Gregory, if you add a little cartoon music to it, going back, okay? But then we see Quad running. No. I don't know if I believe that. Teresa says Quad was running across the beach like Sha'Carri Richardson. I don't know if I believe it. She's just like, no. And then, because you remember, Sweet Tea was with Phaedra, and she's just like this. This is why I need my studio, so you guys can see me in the studio. She pulls her way off of Phaedra, and she running. She's fixing her bathing suit, and she love her some Dr. Gregory. She's like, she gonna go protect her man. She's like, I was like, what is going on? I had to rewind that particular part so many times. So many times. I was like, what? Poor Phaedra. Phaedra's like, oh. She throws her off and then she starts running. She starts running like Pamela Anderson. I was like, and she fixed her dress, running. I was like, and she was running fast, right? I was like, what is going on? She was going to save her man. She was going to go jump on King's back. And then it was probably going to turn into a fight between Quad and her. Oh, my Lord. A mess. A complete mess. Based off the preview for next week's episode of Married to Medicine, it seems as if four people end up leaving the trip. Okay? And it looks like Phaedra ends up leaving on a private jet. I think that next week might be Phaedra's probably last episode. Because we hear that she leaves the season early. So I'm wondering if more happens in regards to the whole Apollo stuff, or was it the Shereen coming on the trip that she didn't know about? We got to look, producers. I don't know if you guys watch. We got to do something for next season. This is not the Married to Medicine that people want to see. Okay. And I think you guys took a wrong direction by bringing Phaedra on the show. That's where we really jumped the ship. You brought Phaedra on the show, and now it's become pre-produced. Heavenly, you're getting out of hand too. You're doing a lot. You're doing a little too much. I'm seeing you produce, and that's never good. That's never good. I also see that you guys are alienating Sweet Tea out of the group. And I get it. I think we all can agree it feels Sweet Tea doesn't seem like she fits within this group. However, she is married to one of the people that is actually friends with you guys. Even though you might not feel like she fits in the group, she's married to a friend of y'all's. Did y'all see the video of Sweet Tea on page 6 rapping? Did y'all see Sweet Tea and Dr. Contessa dancing on Watch What Happens Live, doing the little, TikTok dances? Okay. Oh. I mean, look. But they need to make a shift next season. I don't know what that shift is going to be, but I don't need another season of Quad and Dr. Gregory in this whole situation. I don't know what that means, but I don't need that. If they both can't be on the show and be able to coexist, y'all, we're good. It's weird. Okay. All right. We have a few super chats and we have a lot of members backstage that want to share their thoughts and opinions. We will get to you guys in just a second, but shout out to all of you with the super chats. Y'all were giving me the dollars today. Thank you. I appreciate it. This helps support us content creators. You know how YouTube does. Okay. Pamela, thank you so much for the super chat. Pamela says, King said that he thought Dr. G was talking to his wife, not Quad. Wait. King said that he thought that Dr. G was talking to... Oh, yes. In regards to shut your effing mouth or something like that. Pamela, thank you for another super chat. Waiting for Dr. Heavenly's review. Why you got to send me $2 and tell me you wait for her review? You're here for me or for her? Waiting for Dr. Heavenly's review. Me too. I'm going to watch it after this too. Okay. Deborah, thank you so much for the super chat. Deborah says, King was really activated, Kim. I feel like Quad put the battery in his back, though. It felt forced. He felt performative. Anyone else? Nika, thank you so much for the super chat. Nika says, did y'all hear that Dr. Heavenly says, okay, see y'all soon while on the phone with Apollo before they boarded the boat? She acted like she didn't know. See? Thank you, Nika. I told you I felt like Heavenly was acting as if she didn't know Shereen wasn't coming. I completely missed that, Nika. Thank you for catching that, and thank you for putting in the super chat. Damn lying Heavenly. Liar. Okay. All right. Felicia, thank you so much for the super chat. Felicia says, a psychiatrist arguing with an intoxicated person, rolls eyes. Just saying, I'm not going to argue with an intoxicated person either. Bernice, thank you so much for the super chat. Bernice says, Tauruses are loyal. So when we are done, we are done. Dr. G is over her, but he still is easily triggered by her. With that, he needs to check himself. Yeah. Look, yeah. Nika, thank you so much for another super chat. Nika says, did y'all hear that Dr. Heavenly... Oh, wait. Did it come through twice? Thank you so much, Nika, for the super chat. We appreciate the support. Nika said, thank you for another super chat, Nika. Nika says, Dr. G reminds me of Mr. Parker from Friday, running after Mrs. Parker and the Reverend Bernie Mac. I mean, there were some comedy moments, okay? Tara, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate the support. Thank you. Rashawn, thank you so much for the super chat. Rashawn says Quad was running like Suge on The Color Purple. OMG, that's my favorite movie, and I completely picture it. All she needed is that dress on. Yes, that's exactly how she was running. No. Quad, you started all of this. Lady D, thank you so much for the super chat. Lady D says she run into the money. Come on. Gary, thank you so much for the super chat. Gary says Quad was running because she didn't want King compromising that check. I'm not mad at it. Good point. That's a good point. because she knows physical fighting can get them kicked off. All right. Miss Parker, thank you so much for being a member in the super chat. On Watch What Happens Live, Dr. G said it almost got physical when Andy asked. So it sounds like it was more of what we saw already. Thank you. So, in Word on the Street, it was a restraining order that he got. So he has to stay away from him. Okay. Were the men at the reunion? I'm assuming that. So the men are always at the Married to Medicine reunion. Satra, thank you so much for the super chat. Satra says, Sweet Tea, G.I. Jane got Tig Biddies flying everywhere with that. She was running hard. She was trying to save her man, okay? Texas Sporty Spice, thank you for the super chat. They say, the problem is that the OGs are self-producing, and Heavenly is using SM to try and sway public perception. If you notice that the OGs have no storyline. Look, valid points are being made. And that's why you see the OGs just gathering around talking about everyone else's drama. But we still haven't gotten to the bottom of why Curtis is still in DR. Brett, thank you so much for the super chat. Brett says Dr. G was aggressive with Sweet Tea. There is a pattern. He was definitely aggressive with Sweet Tea. Rashawn, thank you so much for another super chat. Rashawn says Sour Tea and Contessa look like Pinky and the Brain dancing. Ooh. Okay. Let me bring up your Agent Keela. Hold on. Agent Keela says, T ran after him like she was going to fight King. Right? I think she would, though. Don't you think that she would fight King? Why are we acting like she wouldn't fight that man? Tara, thank you so much. Thank you guys for all the super chats. We appreciate the support. Shout out to those of you that send in Cash Apps, Venmos, PayPals, all of that. We see that normally after live. I always turn my notifications off so we're not interrupted. But thank you to those of you that send in support that way as well. Tara says, Married to Medicine ladies are fake and wouldn't have any entertainment if it wasn't for Sweet Tea. Please clock it. Quad is not owed an apology. Quad started it. Okay. SEMs, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support. Thank you. Unique, thank you so much for the super chat. Unique says, I just enjoy supporting you, Kemp. The episode was an 8, and I hope Kari, the caller, calls in and talk to you later, Kemp. No, she won't be. Thank you so much, Unique, for the super chat. Lauren, thank you so much for the super chat. Dr. Heavenly needs to bring Curtis's DR Boo songs she likes. Sounds like she likes to be messy. Yeah, because it's not about them. Can you remember the minute that you start talking about them and you talking about Hilton Head, all of a sudden she doesn't want to show up and she's so heartbroken. Mind you, when we see all the couples on the beach, Curtis is all the way on somewhere else and she's busy in the water. I'm just like, this is such a, I don't know what this is, to be honest with you, at this particular point. Okay. Brooklyn Star, thank you first of all for being a member for 33 months. She says, hashtag Team King. I'm Team Me. I don't know these people. I can't defend all these people. We're watching an edited show, so we're basing all of our thoughts and opinions off an edit. And there's a lot of context. There's a lot of context that can make a difference. We were just talking about this when we were talking about the Carlos of it all. All right? All right. Let me see. Let me get to our callers. Okay, live chat. We are almost at 1,100 likes, but we have over 2,500 people here. Okay? So once we get to 1,200 likes, I will drop the call-in link for the live chat to be consistent with our Real Housewives of Potomac recap. All right, but we have a long line of members backstage. All right, members, please, let me just put up my little disclaimer. Hold on, let me put up my disclaimer. Boom. Okay. Reminder, the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, our sponsors. Everything that they say is alleged in of their opinion, not mine. Okay? Okay. All right, Laurel is backstage. We're going to bring Laurel up first. Laurel, what's going on?
Hey, hi, Kempire.
Hey.
Okay, so I know you said earlier that you feel like the cast is isolating Sweet Tea. or Letitia. But I agree with you. I think they are. But at the same time, I feel like I can kind of see why. And I think it kind of started when she, what did she call Dr. Jackie last year? A B
Oh yeah.
word or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She did something. So yeah, and I think just because they're like a little bit older, I think like they kind of probably don't really take too kindly to like her being her age and then telling like someone old enough to be her grandmother, like calling her, a B word and all that. And then like her mom coming to the set at the reunion and trying to fight Heavenly. So I can kind of see why they wouldn't like really want to like kind of embrace her, if that makes sense. So, I mean, I guess I can kind of see their perspective on that.
Mm.
And as far as like, what's her name? Phaedra is saying that, Apollo shouldn't care about her dating his friend. I mean, I get it, but I also feel like if he started dating Portia, people would kind of be dragging him. But yeah, that's all I
Point.
had to say.
Good
Yeah.
point. I'm glad you brought that up. Thanks, Laurel.
Thanks.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye. All right. We have, here goes Lee again. Hey, Lee.
Hey, how are you?
Lee's on the move. Okay, Lee, you out of work?
Yes, I'm out of work. Thank God. Thank the Lord. But so the first thing I want to say is poor Dr. Damon Daddy. Can he just have a normal vacation? Every clip of Dr. Damon Daddy, he is stressed. He just wants to sip his Mai Tais and relax. Like, these people won't let up. But on another note, what I want to say is I'm a Quad stan, I love me some Miss Quad. She got it. But I am conflicted with this because on one hand, I see Quad and like they've been taunting me since last year, since they joined the show. So now it's my get back. But also too, it's just like you guys did too much. And King it was just the wrong time to bring that up. Like he's trying to calm his wife down. And you're over here trying to talk about your girl. Like, come on. Like, let's actually let's
Read
hold
the room.
Peace, Yeah. So that's all I have to say about it. I'm really conflicted, but at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. So,
Okay.
we'll see. I'm excited for next episode to see like how it all plays out.
Yeah. All right. Thanks,
All right.
Lee.
Talk soon. Bye.
Bye. All right. We have Miss Brooklyn Diamond backstage. Miss Brooklyn, what did you want to share?
Hi, I know everybody doesn't like Dr. G, but I'm sorry, in this one, I don't see him as wrong. Although I feel he does need to apologize to Quad for the way he was talking about her. I think Quad first needs to apologize to his wife because Quad set it off with the I'm going to throw you a baby shower and all that. You was out of pocket. Drunk or not, you was out of pocket. You set the whole domino effect in motion. Dr. G wouldn't have said anything had Quad not done that. So Quad owes Sweet Tea an apology. And then, yes, Dr. G owes Quad an apology for talking to her like that. But what people have to remember is this isn't just any woman on the street. This is a divorced couple. There's dynamics going on there that don't necessarily apply with a woman in the street. Yes, that's King's girlfriend for now. That's Dr. G's ex-wife forever. He said to King, I apologize. Had I known you better, I would have approached you and wouldn't have said anything to her and whatever. In the very beginning, he was respectful. He gave King his respect. It was quashed. King kicked it back up when he should have just left it alone. That's my time. I'm going to drop out.
Thank you, Miss Brooklyn. All right. We're going to get to some more callers. Let me just say thank you. We had a couple more super chats. Coco, thank you so much for the super chat. Coco says, on Watch What Happens Live, Dr. G's face when T called him the drama queen. Oh, I didn't see that part. All right, Coco. Lonnie, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support as well. Thank you, Lonnie L. SEM, thank you so much for the super chat. SEM says, this is why Phaedra referred to them as bitches like y'all. I expected more from black women physicians. I mean, honestly, after watching Phaedra talk about that, and she said, this is why I call them that, I was like, a point has been made. Okay, guys, let me get to some more callers. Our members are backstage. Thank you, members, for waiting so patiently. We have a long line of people. All right, we have Elizabeth RN backstage. Elizabeth, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. So I have made a list, so I'm going to make it quick. Okay.
Perfect.
So Quad did put the battery in King's back. Okay. It reminds me of when Jada looked at Will and Will went up there and slapped Chris. That's what it reminded me of. Okay. I think Dr. G was not wrong. At first, he was respectful. He was with the conversation. And I feel like he was just reacting to how King was escalating the situation. And if I was him, I would have had a restraining order too, because I'm a doctor and I'm not about to fight you. And then I can definitely tell that he was in the military because the way she was running, you can tell, like those people that go to the military, there's always a piece of them that stays with them. So when she got to running, I said, King better watch out because she's not the swing. Oh my God. Okay. And then I do believe that they're icing her out. It reminds me of, the first seasons they get on the show, their wigs are a little raggedy and they expect you to like pump up your game. And I feel like they think she's not polished enough to run with them. It's kind of like the mean, cool girls that feel like the new girl is not pretty enough to run with them. And one last thing, Phaedra needs to earn her check. I feel like she feels like she's an OG and that she doesn't have to answer to anything, but I'm tired of it, of like, oh, I'm not about to answer that. And that's all.
Yeah. Thank you, Elizabeth. All right, we have Reese backstage. We're going to bring Reese up next. Reese, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire. First of all, I'm so happy to be here today in the live crew because I'm usually replay. So I'm so happy to be able to get in here.
Me too.
But I will honestly say that situation with Apollo and Chet could have been a whole lot worse. We seen Apollo in his prison melee at, what was it, Atlanta when they was having the slumber party.
Mm-hmm.
So we seen that. We see how worse it could have got. So Heavenly, once she knew that, first of all, she should have never invited him. Secondly, once she knew that Chuck was there, she could have called him and been like, yo, don't come. Because I don't want this to get messy. And then especially when she realized Shereen was next to him in that daggone van on their way to the boat. That's number one. Number two, Quad, yeah, she put a battery in King back. But I'm still Team Quad because I'm going to get my get back. And that's another reason why I like Toya. Team Aries all day.
Oh.
She was giving Team Aries energy the whole time. You're going to tell them like it is, even if they don't want to hear it like that. And she also going to do her best to be like, no, it wasn't me, but it was me.
Okay.
But thank you, Kempire.
Thank you, Reese. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye. All right, we have Miss Bernice backstage. We'll bring Miss Bernice up next. Miss Bernice, what's going on?
What up, though, everybody? What up, though?
What's going on?
People fail to realize Quad and Heavenly was playing dangerous game because Quad was playing the game where you whispering in people's ears about the wrong that you feel that you had in a relationship. Both of y'all had a toxic marriage and it got physical. He was wrong for putting his hands on you and you was wrong for putting your hands on him. But you tell other people from your perspective and get them feeling sorry for you that they got to be your avenger. I have seen this all my life where people get caught up and they do harm to those people and end up either in the cemetery or they end up in the jail. And Heavenly and Quad was playing that game because when he accepted Dr. G's apology, he said, if I would have known you better than that, I wouldn't have said anything. And I apologize for that. He took it. That was the end of it. You don't rethink it and then come back and then ask me. And then you was telling me and demanding to me like you my daddy. And with that, what G said, he said, wait a minute. So it's okay for her to say anything to me, but I can't say anything back to her. And then when he got, Mr. Shabba got even more dirty, he started cussing at him. I'm like, oh, no, brother, you totally, And that's when he went off. And he kept saying, when he said, I heard her story. I know what you did to her. And G said to him, "You gonna find out because she gonna do the same thing to you." That what pissed him off.
Mm. Okay. All right, Miss Bernice. Thank you for calling in.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Speaking of Bernice, we got another Bernice backstage. Bernice, what's going on?
Hey, I agree with Miss Bernice. He said that he heard Quad's story, and Dr. G said, yeah, from her perspective, he heard it from. So it's always three sides to a story: yours, theirs, and the truth. So, I think that Dr. G should have just took himself out of that whole situation. And I think King was wrong because when they deaded it, it should have been dead. They should have just moved on from the whole situation. As for Phaedra and Apollo situation, they hustlers. I still would not be surprised if they put that whole thing together today, because Phaedra last year brought Apollo to help her with her little storyline and everything at the reunion. And now all of a sudden y'all don't like each other. Y'all mad. Y'all not talking. No, I wouldn't be surprised if she was like, keep your little mistress wife at a distance, and then we can both get this money and do this storyline. Yep. So I would not be surprised. Yep. And that's all.
Thank you, Miss Bernice. Thank you. I thought the same thing. That was one of the other perspectives that I forgot to share, because I was like, are we watching something that's real, or are we watching Phaedra produce something? Like Bernice just pointed out, last season she brought Apollo to the reunion because all season we kept on saying that Phaedra wasn't bringing it. And then she brought Apollo. And now all of a sudden her and Apollo's really concerned about who she's dating. I'm like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Apollo got a new chick anyway. That's not Shereen. So I just don't know if I believe that, you know? So, I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't put it past Phaedra, especially if they bring this storyline to RHOA as well. I wouldn't put it past Phaedra. Like this is something. If she's willing to bring Shake on the show as the guy that she's dating, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's trying to produce something here, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's paying Apollo, because what does Apollo do for work now? I'll wait. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me get to the rest of these callers. Live chat, I am going to drop the calling for you guys as well. We're going to take some quick calls, but I definitely got to get off of here by 6 o'clock, so I can't promise I'm going to get to everyone. All right. Nia's backstage. We're going to bring Nia up next. Nia, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Hey, I just wanted to share that basically, I do not feel bad for T, because T wouldn't have to have all this happen if she never came on the show. I don't feel like the ladies ultimately chose to ostracize her if she would have never went on that show and made a rap about them. And if she also would have never been on interviews talking about them. Like now she's saying that Toya was the one to push her to go against Quad. I'm going to be very, very honest. She feels like she knows more about what happened between her, Greg, and Quad. And to be honest, everybody knows what happened because they had that sit down with Andy. And in the beginning, remember, nobody believed Quad, and Andy had to tell them he admitted to physically, like, hitting her. So I don't know. Like, I thought it was weird what King did, but I can also understand, like, him wanting to stick up for Quad to make her feel good. So I feel like he did that off of him being her boyfriend. And also, Phaedra, I don't believe anything she has going on. I do feel like her and Apollo are in it for a check. And I feel like Shek was in it, too. Because when they were asking Shek about how he knew them, he was trying to pay it off. You can't be coming to people's house for Thanksgiving and don't know them. Come on.
All right, Nia. Yeah. Thank you so much for calling in.
No problem.
Bye. All right. Trina, what we're not going to do is to attack people in the live chat because they don't agree with you. You can have your opinion, but there's no reason to attack people in the live chat. That's a warning. All right, Mo Reality's backstage. We're going to bring Mo Reality up next. Mo, what did you want to share?
Hey, what's up, Kempire? Oh my God. I feel like I haven't talked to you in like forever.
I know.
I haven't really been keeping up with the season like that. I literally just watch it when I need to watch something to eat. Zay, why you gotta start talking when I talk? But I don't mean to be a parrot, but I absolutely feel the same way. I feel like Quad Tubman for me She does too much. And I feel like she knows how to push Gregory's buttons like he knows her. And that whole scene, that whole moment, like, yes, I feel like she definitely put the battery in her dude's in King's back for sure. And he felt like he needed to defend her for whatever it is that she was pillow talking to him about. And the thing about with these like Married to Medicine and all these other shows, I feel like they need to like do an overhaul, like just start over after so many years, because they do so much producing. And I'm like, I don't understand that. Like, is it not enough going on in their lives? Is it, production? Like, what is that? Just start over. What happened to Married to Medicine LA? Like, let's do something different.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Zane says it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. All right. Let's bring up Rasani next. Rasani, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, everyone. First, I want to do a shout out to Miss Bernice. Miss Bernice, you have to, that Jezebel spirit whenever you get an opportunity to, because I love to hear you say it. For this episode, I would say, I think it felt like King wanted to have a moment. To be brought back for next season. That's what it felt like to me, because Gregory, I know everybody's bashing Gregory, saying that he was the aggressor. I'm assuming that was from the last episode. Mm-hmm. But for this episode, I would say that Gregory was like the bigger person. He did acknowledge, he apologized to him. We're going to squash it out. King agreed. And then King comes, like when he's trying to calm his wife down, you chose that moment as the moment that we need to have a discussion of something that we already squashed, and you were good and I was good. So it just felt like it was King having a moment for himself and Quad, and it just felt very pre-produced to me from both of them. But that's it. That's my time. Have a good one, everyone.
You
Bye.
too, Connie. Bye. All right. Someone mentioned that where was Dr. Mimi during the reunion, and I was like, wait a minute. Holy crap, we talked about this reunion seating chart and no one asked about Dr. Mimi. Okay? No one asked about Dr. Mimi. What happened with Dr. Mimi this season? What happened to Dr. No one asked. We talked about this reunion seating chart and no one says, where's Dr. Mimi? Damn. Sorry, Dr. Mimi. You're just too normal for reality television. It's okay, girl. Dr. Payne is backstage. We're going to bring up a real doctor. What's going on, doctor?
Hi, Kempire. How everybody?
Hey.
I'm going to be really quick because I have a lot to say. All right. So I'm just saying, can we remember Dr. G's past? He is not innocent. He was a cheater with the alleged dancer thing. And the abuse, I really do believe, Quad. I believe in, and like they said, he admitted to it before. And Dr. Eugene said that his head was steaming the last episode. So I don't believe that Dr. G is this innocent guy who's just trying to protect his degree. Sadly, I've been around a lot of Dr. G, so I'm completely biased, right? So my husband's a doctor, as you know, my brother-in-law, all our friends, yada, yada, we're boring at lunch, right? But some of these guys are so arrogant. They expect to have like the best wife and she better walk on eggshells, all because what? You studied more and got a doctorate degree? Please. Like I'm not a fan. Sweet Tea got second wife syndrome. There's some second wives that are coming up amongst a mature group. In particularly my mature group, some second wives stick out like a sore thumb. They do not blend. They're either a pick-me wife or they are like arrogant because they're younger. I'm so sorry if I could just finish. Some things that Sweet Tea did is not innocent. Okay, I don't think she's innocent. I also think we're giving Heavenly too much credit and Quad too much credit. The producers could have put a battery in King's back. The producers want a moment and they edit so much that we're not seeing the whole thing. And that's it. I'm sorry to go over. I love you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Payne. We appreciate it. All right. Dewan is saying device is not connected. There's someone before you, but I'm going to bring up Kookie first. But I just wanted to address this comment. Jessica says that Dr. Mimi was there. No, she wasn't. You saw the seating chart. Dr. Contessa is not a full-time cast member. She's a friend of, just like Dr. Mimi. She's not on the seating chart. And if she was there, damn, they really did her foul. Purposely Delicious says that on Watch What Happens Live, Sweet Tea said that she told King if he got something to say, then he needs to speak to her. Wait.
It's this, honey.
I believe she said that too. Wow. Tashi, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate the support. Mr. Melon Magic, thank you so much for the super chat. Mr. Melon Magic says, unpopular opinion, but I don't feel sorry for Earl Grey. Sweet tea. This is an immature take, but if you come on a show I'm on with my ex, I will break you down. Okay. Kim, thank you so much for the super chat. Kim says, we are watching Heavenly puppeteer the non-doctor wives so that they can seem like the brains of the group and not have to share themselves or their lives. There's definitely some self-producing, but I do agree with Dr. Payne that we probably do have production getting involved as well. Joya, thank you so much for the super chat. Joya says, where was Dr. Mimi during the reunion? That's where I saw the question. Thank you, Joya, for the super chat. All right. I don't know. But based off the season, what would she have addressed? She would have gotten all gussied up for what? What's the point? Why waste a trip to New York to do all of that and then be involved in drama that you're not really involved in? All right. We have 15 minutes before I got to go. So let me get to the rest of these calls if I can. I can't promise I'm going to get to everyone, though, y'all. All right. So let me bring up Kookie. Kookie, what's going on?
Hi. I just wanted to say that I think that with the King and Dr. G situation, I think that Dr. G instigated it a little bit when he initially, King was like chill, relaxed, looking at his body language. He didn't really care about Dr. G. But then when he got up and slowly told him, like, yeah, I can see why you want to defend her, even though him and Dr. G did not have any like correspondence. So what are you talking about? He said, yeah, I told her to shut her effing mouth. And so he drops this bomb on King and comes up to him close, but he's like tapping him like, yeah, little guy, I know why you would want to defend her though, because I told her to shut her effing mouth. So like, I think he was processing like what just happened, because everybody was just like, what the F? Like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
And so I think it kind of put him in a place
Delayed
of like,
response.
okay, you playing with me, you know?
A delayed response.
Yeah, a delayed response. And I do think that he probably was very abusive with Quad. And I think, you know, when your back is against the wall, there's something called reactive abuse. And I don't like how I feel like in the Black community, people make light of that. And I feel like if Quad would have lied on him, he would have sued her. She would have been in the hot seat. He did it. And it's just, I think it's blowing up in a really nasty way.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Kookie. And also, Andy Cohen confirmed that Dr. G said that he admitted to being physical with Quad. All right. Dewan is backstage. We're going to bring up Dewan next. Dewan, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Kempire?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I think that Phaedra is absolutely in the right to be pissed off. Heavenly is doing too much. It's to the point now where I feel like she might have to leave the show. Like the open producing is just, it's like, it makes it hard to watch. Why the hell would you invite Apollo and his wife? What do they have to do with medicine? What do they have to do with the show? So we all know that you just literally did that to stir some stuff up on TV, and it just made it terrible. The whole thing with, gosh, I'm blanking on his people's name. The whole thing with T and Greg going back and forth. I think people are having selective memory. Did we not remember last year how they had Sweet Tea and Greg plastered all over the place? They were like wanting her over Quad and all of this stuff. So yes, Quad has the right to bring out her man now that she's happy and do exactly what she did. I see no problem with that at all. And I forget what I wanted to say lastly. It was so I don't know. Maybe I'll mention at you on Twitter or something. But yeah, that was interesting. This was a good little snippet.
Okay, thank you, Dewan. All right, we're going to bring up Brooklyn Star next. Brooklyn, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
Good. I'm so full of unpopular opinions.
That's
okay.
good.
I am Team King. I do not care. I totally understood what he was saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not the man to talk to my chick. Something bothers you with what she's saying, come see me. Okay. She has a man now. Okay. Let me tell you something. King being Jamaican and from up north, what he gave Greg was light work. Okay. That was very much light work. Okay. Like, I've seen worse. And I feel like Greg says a lot of slick stuff, and he thought he could son King, and King was not having it. I appreciate the producers giving us good lighting on the beach. I appreciate them giving us sneak peeks of his chest, and I appreciate his shirt coming off. Okay, I am Team King. The most unfortunate thing that happened that day on that beach was Sweet Tea putting on that elderly bathing suit. I was distracted for the whole beach scene, like why she is the youngest and she was wearing that bathing suit because she's too young. Like I was just like, if my husband's ex is there, I'm stunting. I'm not wearing that. But that was all I wanted to say, Kempire. But you have a good day.
Bye. All right. We're gonna bring up Izzy next. Izzy, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I just wanted to say that I kind of agree with the last few callers about, listen, I'm not team anybody, but I will say that it seemed clear to me that Dr. Gregory is used to talking to Quad any type of way, and women in general, any type of way. And even though I agree that, Quad was drunk and sort of instigated the whole thing the day before, he didn't have to bring up that stuff with the guys on the beach. He could have just kept it cute and tried to have a good day. And I agree that King had a little bit of a delayed response. Like, I think when he was processing the fact that Gregory was like, oh yeah, I just told her she talked too much. I can tell you, I've been married for 10 years. If my husband heard another man talking about me that way, he'd be like, I don't care what she said. You need to come see me. You don't go back and forth with a female. And so I feel like sometimes as a society, we give people too much of a pass when men talk to women any type of way. Yeah. And so I actually appreciated that, King sort of stepped to Dr. Gregory and talked to him about it. Now, I don't think it was the right time. And I think his youth played out in the way that he communicated, but I don't think he was wrong for trying to have that conversation.
Perfect, Izzy. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye. Sidebar, I did see someone say that there's Real Housewives of New Jersey news. Until Bravo announces the Real Housewives of New Jersey news, I won't be reporting on it. The sources that are coming out with the casting news are OK Magazine and some other blogs. Andy has said, there have been how many times that we've gotten Real Housewives of New Jersey news? This is the cast that's coming back, and it's been a false start. I won't believe it until they officially make the announcement or we see them filming. So just an FYI, I'm not going to report on that. All right, guys, we have already 1,300 likes. We have almost 2,500. We have over 2,500 people watching on multiple platforms. Be sure to keep liking the video. It's easy and it's free. If you're part of the Replay crew, be sure to let us know. Happy President's Day. And of course, happy Black History Month. We're still celebrating Black History Month here on the channel. And we're going to be blackity black at the Kempire After Dark live show in New York City at the Green Room 42. Tickets are still available. And if you want to watch us from your home, or maybe you're in Canada, or maybe you're stuck in Canada because of the snow, or you're stuck anywhere, and you want to watch the Kempire After Dark live experience, ticket information for the live stream is also available in the description, along with our today's sponsor, Factor Meals. Excuse me. Bernice, thank you so much for the super chat. Bernice says, I miss the days when they would show the doctors actually working together and doing things for the community. Now it seems like a Zeus production. And literally, that was like 2 seasons ago. So I'm trying to understand, why have we lost the focus? Oh, I guess we had the Med Gala this season. Okay. Scarlett, thank you for the super chat. Scarlett says, I love Married to Medicine, but either needs a shake up or a break. Yeah, I agree. There's got to be something. Coco, thank you for the super chat. Coco says Dr. G shows Napoleon complex all in this episode. Yes. Dr. Payne, thank you so much for the super chat. Dr. Payne says, Kempire, don't read this last part, but I'm okay. Greg, never mind. Goodbye. Thank you for the super chat. I'm glad you told me not to read the last part. All right. Let me get to the rest of these callers because I have like 10 minutes and that's it, y'all. So I might not get to everyone. Okay. All right. We're going to bring up Miss Esquire next. Miss Esquire, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
I was not going to call in, but I feel like I have to. Here's the thing that's weird about this is Phaedra is upset with these women because they're not openly welcoming her new partner and they're creating circumstances where there's conflict for her new partner. Is this not the exact same thing she did to Sweet Tea last year, bringing Quad to that bridal shower? Like, again, one of the things Phaedra says she liked about this show is that this show is actually conducive to people's relationships and marriages being supported. But honey, that's not how you stepped on the scene with the gangster lane. So again, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. And there's a lot of that going on right now. That's going on with her. That's also going on with Quad in this Dr. G situation. Now, y'all flaunted this relationship on this show that this woman helped establish all last season. And now that she got somebody milky chocolate to come up on the scene, it's a problem. And I'm very disappointed to hear people blame her for the actions of any of these men. These are absolute sentient, human, Homo sapien beings who can make decisions for themselves. If these men can't regulate their emotions, that's not any woman's fault. Let's not be about the business of blaming this black woman for the actions of these men. And that's really all I have to say about that. I don't like the fact that Gregory's on this show. I take the abuse allegations real seriously. Just like Martell and Melody, I don't understand why Quad has to be on a show with her former abuser and why this is a form of entertainment that they think we want to see. But that's a read for another day.
Thanks, Ms. Esquire.
Bye.
All right, bye. We have Jen Nelson backstage. I'm going to bring Jen up. Jen, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hi. So after what Miss Esquire said, I'm kind of rethinking what I said, but I really do feel like they should leave Sweet Tea on for next season if she has it in her, if they bring Audra back. Because they're like in the same age group, and I do think that some of the older ladies probably don't have as much to contribute. And, I'm not saying this to be ageist, but I feel like our lives in reality have ebbs and flows. So sometimes people just plateau. Like they're not always going to have something interesting going on.
Yeah.
And I think that, I think a caller said it last week, they should bring other people who are part of medicine, like nurses who are DMPs, they're doctors as well, and every other part of medicine, and kind of mix it up and do bring in like a younger crowd, but leave some people who are like in the older generation as well, so we can get a mix of people who are watching the show. I think that would make the show more interesting. I think it is veering towards a love and hip hop type of way because there is nothing interesting really going on with the cast.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jen. Right. We're going to bring up Star next. Star, what did you want to share about Married to Medicine?
Hey, Kempire. Hope
Hey.
all is well.
Yeah.
First off, I think that a lot of people have a selective memory. Do we not forget that Heavenly begged Sweet Tea to be on the show so that Quad could have a storyline? Are we forgetting that? Did we also forget how Quad and some of the other ladies spoke about Lisa Nicole's husband, spoke to Toya's husband in very rude ways? In my opinion, Quad and Dr. G are two in the same. They both have annoying voices. They both are very narcissistic, and some of their traits are very much so alike. And so I do understand and I take abuse very seriously, but I think, in my opinion, Quad never liked Dr. G. She did what she had to do to get up to these heights, and she used the show as a way to get out. Because at that point, it was very much so public. But I think no matter what Dr. G tried to do, and the reason why he was so frustrated, he tried to buy Quad, and it never worked. And it would have never worked because Quad never liked him. No matter what that man did. Because I went back to look at previous seasons, and I was like, yeah, she never liked him. That's all.
Thank you so much, Star.
Thank you.
Bye. Woo, y'all reading today. All right, Ashley's backstage. We're going to bring Ashley up next. Ashley, what's going on? What did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
All right, so Kempire, I'm just like you. I'm team no one, so I can speak honestly and freely. So as far as Dr. Gregory goes, look, I understand, yes, is he short and cringy most of the time? Absolutely. However, I do want to give him his props for this episode because I do feel like the fact that he, came to King and was apologetic about his actions and what he said the night before, I think that was really nice of him to do that. And I mean, I didn't really understand why King started bucking up his chest at him the way he was. Like, at the first conversation, the situation was deaded. Yes, he did say that he wanted him to apologize to Quad, but the guys kind of rallied together and said, you know what, that was last night. Let's just move forward. Him coming back and trying to bring up that topic, I do feel like that was Quad putting a battery in his back. And we can see that Quad has been dropping little hints to him, like, oh, when you see him, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like, it's clear that she wanted this to happen. Like, she's been hyping it up, which I say, King, run for the hills. Because the fact that Dr. Gregory even said to him, you'll see. Like, you didn't hear my side of the story, but I'm not even going to tell you anything. You'll see for yourself. I think that's a huge red flag. So that's all I had to say.
All right, Ashley. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to try and get to the rest of these calls, but I told you I need to get off here by 6. Shar, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Quad and Sweet Tea should have been the first seats at the reunion. Well, you know how that goes with Married to Medicine. Dr. Payne, thank you for the super chat. Dr. Payne says, sorry for the typos. I can't find my glasses. Great show as usual. Thank you so much, Dr. Payne. Mary E., thank you so much for the super chat. Mary E. says, I think everyone is forgetting that Toya brought right up Quad throwing the baby shower. Then Quad commented, go back and watch the scene. Not that invested to the show to go back and watch that scene. All right, let me get to the rest of these callers. Nash, what did you want to share? Nash? You're muted, Nash. All right, Nash, I'm going to drop you down. All right, Vanna, what did you want to share?
Lord, married to messy. Lord. What can we do? So first of all, I'm going to say, as a New Yorker, Caribbean-based, I'm Team King. I think that I do believe someone said that Dr. Gregory has a Martell complex. I believe that because he's ready to buck up with the females, but he don't want to buck up to no man. So I do feel like King had all the right to check him. I'm actually proud of him. I was like, as you should. My stepfather's Jamaican, so I know how it gets given up. I kind of feel like Sweet Tea needs to kind of sit this one out, especially if she's focusing on her fertility journey. She needs to take a page out of Candace's book and kind of sit down maybe for a season or 2 and kind of figure that out and then come back. I just don't think she's built for what the ladies are giving her. Heavenly is messy, but Heavenly also said on her live, and I think she's kind of taking a page out of Carlos's book, that Apollo said that he wants to film. So Apollo made it known that he wants to be on TV. So I don't know if anyone watches, Heavenly's YouTube channel. She definitely gives you all the tea, and she made it known that Apollo wanted to film. He's here for the check. So that's also something else. And that's all. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks, Vanna. All right. Steph, we're going to bring up next. Steph, what did you want to share in regards to Married to Medicine? Steph, you're muted. All right, got to drop you, Steph. Annette, what did you want to share? You'll be our last caller.
Hi, how you doing, Kempire?
I'm well. How are you?
Regarding Greg, everybody has said everything I needed to say, but my 2 things are, 1, why on earth was Apollo's wife wearing what she was wearing to this boat? If you know she knew she was going to see Phaedra. Maybe Phaedra didn't know she was going to see her, but she knew she was going to see Phaedra. So I would have tried to look 100% my best if I'm going to go on a boat where a lot of people are going to be looking at me. And then 2, did you see how, what's Greg's wife's name? Sorry, I forgot.
Sweet Tea. Or Letitia.
How Sweet Tea was looking at Contessa when Contessa was like defending King on Watch What Happened Lives. Like, she was like, no, girl, like, you're supposed to be on my side. And Contessa was like, no, I would want a man to defend me. Like, and I'm like, your man never defends you in anything in this show. So,
good point.
But that's it. That was all for me.
Thanks, Annette. Take care. All right. We're going to wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. We appreciate your support. We're almost at 1,400 likes. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. And don't forget to subscribe to the Kempire podcast. Okay. All that information will be available in the description, along with tonight's sponsor, Factor Meals. And don't forget, the Kempire After Dark live experience returns to New York City this Friday at the Green Room 42. So if you want to talk about The Diddler, Wendy Williams, Housewives, and Married to Medicine, and more, be sure to get your tickets today. Meet me in person here in New York City this Friday. And there is also a live stream option available. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our channel members. Thank you to our subscribers. And of course, thank you to everyone watching in the bushes. We appreciate you guys. Anyway, I will see you all in the next live recap. If you're watching the replay of this, be sure to let us know your thoughts, where you're watching from, and everything else. All right? Talk to you guys later. Bye, y'all.
Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio podcast. As always, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for everything Kempire Radio, head on over to KempireRadio.com.